This podcast is meant for mature audiences only and contains strong sexual language. Welcome to Sex, Love, and the Black Experience with your hosts, Miss Kiki Love and Miss Nisha B of Orgasmic Melanin Goddesses. We're just two dope sisters who love to talk about sex and give our amazing guests a platform to share their experiences and expertise as it pertains to sex, love, and the Black experience. So let's get started. All right, so welcome to another sexy episode of Orgasmic Melanin Goddesses presents Sex, Love, and the Black Experience podcast. Yeah. So I am one half of that dynamic duo, and my name is Miss Nisha B, and I'm going to bring in my lovely partner. Go ahead and introduce yourself, honey.
Miss Kiki Love.
Yes. Teamwork makes the dream work. Hey.
Yeah.
So we are going to bring on a wonderful guest, but in our format, what we typically do is we start off with our, what do we call it?
Therapy.
Our therapy session.
Yeah.
So Kiki, what's on your mind? What you want to talk about today?
Parents.
Ooh.
Yeah, parents. Driving me crazy. My parent had a medical emergency last week, and just like going through all of that melodrama with my parent. My parent has heart failure. My parent has diabetes. And they know for a long time that they are diabetic, the whole 9-bit, right? And my parent does not exercise, does not eat the right foods, and does not take care of themselves. My parent also lives with me, so I am seeing all of the deterioration in my parent and going through all of that, right? And it's a constant burden that I should not have to deal with as the child, right? My parent is also a smoker. So combating all of that, right, puts you in a weird space. And so I was on a high last week, right? Because I did the storyteller event, which I was super excited about. Shout outs to Ebony Muse, right? Ebony Muse. She created the center. It's about bringing up Black voices, right? And having, the courage to tell your story. Yeah. And so the theme was about liberation. And so told my story about sexual liberation from my lens and how I got started in the business. And I talked about my grandmother, and I talked about us. I talked about all of that. I still have not given anybody the clips yet. I know, because I'm dealing with my parent. Yeah, and so, my parent texted me. My parent called me, and then they texted me, and then telling me that they had to go to the hospital. And I was like, what? Mind you, it was like 1 a.m. when I got, so I'm exhausted, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll deal with this in the morning. And so they're calling me. So finally I go to where they're located, and all they wanted was their charger. So at this moment, I am very much upset because they do not take care of themselves. I watch them literally do not take care of themselves. They don't exercise. They don't do what is necessary to take care of their bodies, right? And so I did not come to the hospital at all. I felt like, no, I am not going to give up my life and do what I need to do in order for you to do what you need to do. You are an adult. You need to handle whatever you need to handle, because I have watched you and you don't even go to the doctor.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know that it can be
yeah, because you also have your parent.
Yeah, I know it
can
be difficult. Well, typically what happens is the cycle reverses.
Yeah.
So we end up taking care of our parents.
Yeah.
So like my mom and I, we couldn't get along really. We can, but once it got to a point where she had to live with me,
right,
it was what it was. I mean, not to say we didn't get along. We got along fine. We just couldn't live together. Let me correct that. But
no, me and my parent do not get along. Like me and my parent have had a very volatile relationship through the course of my childhood, my teenage years, and my early adult time. So
I'm sure that can probably make it even more difficult.
Right. And I've been throughout my adult life, I've gone years, very much not a year, but years spanned of not speaking to my parent and nothing. And so just going through that and dealing with that, it takes a toll on somebody's mental. And again, we're in this space now of taking care of mental health and doing all of that. And so me and you had a conversation, and, I was just basically, I was done because my other parent called me and was trying to get information, and they didn't know anything because my brother had told my parent what was going on, and my parent was in the hospital and they wanted to know what was going on. And so when my parent called me, they were like, "What is going on?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I just said it just like that. I was like, I don't know. And they were like, "What do you mean you don't know? You live with your parent, you live with them. Like, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "I have not been to the hospital. I have not." But again, they don't know what is going on with their health. They have no idea. Both my parents do not communicate. Just so everybody will understand, my parents are divorced. They do not communicate. I am the middle part. I'm the oldest of 8. So just so we know the bigger picture, I am the oldest child of 8 children. And my parents have always put me in the middle of their drama. I've always been the middle person. Well, you tell your mom I said. Well, you tell your dad I said. And it's always been the middle for me. And so when they were trying to get information, and they were just like, "Well, that's your da-da-da, and you're not," and I'm like, "No, my mental health comes first."
Yeah, I do. I agree with that. But I know we had this conversation, and I was saying to you that, so one thing that I learned throughout my years, I think a lot of times as children, we have these expectations of our parents, like they're supposed to be this certain thing, but none of us, and I didn't realize it until I became a parent, okay?
Right.
So when none of us come with with instructions.
Yeah.
So we do the best we can. I'm not saying that my mother was the best parent in the world. Like we struggled back and forth, and we had some knockdowns.
Yeah. But how's your knockdowns ever been physical?
No, not with my mom, because I'm not. Yeah, it never.
Yeah,
never
I
like
have.
that.
I've been physical
but
with
the
my
thing
parents.
that I had said to you that we talked about is, you're right. Your mental health comes first. But I also didn't want you to live in regret.
Yeah.
Remember, we talked about that, because I don't want you to be like, if something had happened, it's like, damn, I didn't get to do this and do this. So I had suggested that, no, you should not be in a situation where you just enable your mom, your parent, and let them do whatever they want to, do whatever do, and you just watch them destroying themselves, and you, because you live together, every day you see the deterioration. But so the suggestion that I made was like, just instead of coming like, Mom, you should do this, you should do that, blah 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 blah, just come from a place of, because you're not doing this is how it makes me feel, and I'm hurt, and I love you too much to see you destroy yourself and do that. And sometimes coming from the authoritative, like you should, and come from like, no, this is why I'm upset.
And we haven't talked at all. We have still not had a conversation.
And that's got to be hard, because y'all living in the same house together.
We still have not had a full-blown conversation. And I think that they don't want to talk. I think they want an apology, and I'm not going to give them that.
Rather than apology, ask them, are they open to listen to you just tell your side?
No.
So that's going to be a problem.
Right, because they come from a very old school type of mentality where, it's just do as I say type of.
But that's difficult when you're a grown ass woman. So, and, that's difficult. So somehow I really hope, I don't know the situation fully, but I really hope that you may be able to just come from a I feel perspective. I feel this way, like it hurts me that you're this way, and I love you so much to see you deteriorate, and it affects my psyche. And maybe I'm hoping that by sharing that way, and not coming from an authoritative, like you destroying yourself, but just coming from how it makes you feel, that maybe. Because I've done that before. And sometimes I felt like, why do I have to do that? Because they're wrong. But just by humbling myself and bringing it in that perspective, it changed the whole dynamic of the conversation. So I'm hoping that maybe there's an ounce of, I care about my child enough to understand where they're coming from, that maybe they may listen to that, and it might even open them up a little bit more. That's what I'm hoping and praying for, that. Because they think you were just being a rude person, being an asshole in the
absolutely.
And it's not that. You were hurt. You was like, I can't even see this. I can't see the results of my parent in this situation because I know they're not taking care of themselves. And if you can somehow explain that to them, and express that to them, but in a way of just, I feel.
When I had the conversation with my other parent, and we were on the phone, and I expressed to them, I'm like, listen, I am watching them literally kill themselves. They do not go to the doctor. They do not take their medication. They do not eat the right food. I'm seeing all of this, and I'm like, do you want to be the caretaker? Because
it's hard. That's why. I remember I had to make that decision.
And you were on the phone with me, crying.
It hurts to make
it. And I said, listen, and I cannot do it. I can't. And I had a conversation with my parents' sibling, and I had informed them of some things and reminded them of the living conditions that I am currently in right now. And, expressed to them, I said, listen, your sibling does not want to do. They don't want to do They don't want to do right. They don't want to. And so it clicked for them because they were also upset that why are you not going in and seeing about your parent? Why are you not? And then I had to remind them of the reasons. And then they were like, oh, yeah, your parent does X, Y, and Z and this and that and not doing the proper, things and not going to the doctor, not doing this, not doing that, not doing this, not doing that.
Yeah.
And so it's been challenging. It's been very uncomfortable.
I mean, I can't imagine now. It's almost like y'all walking around not speaking to each other in the same household. So I really hope that you are able to express yourself and that they will be open.
I need some time. I definitely need some time. I am trying to find the right words.
Yeah.
I am trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
It's been very much hard for me because I am doing all of these amazing things, and
I feel like it's a damper on you.
It was. Listen, I had an amazing performance. Everybody was coming up to me that night and telling me how great I am. And the one person that wasn't there, and I know you were upset because you were tired, you couldn't make it. But the one person
next time.
Right, you were there in spirit. Yeah, I had mentioned your name a couple of times in the story,
and I shared. I was like, "Dude, my girl, y'all gotta see her." I really think it's a dope concept what she's doing.
It's awesome.
And so
it was awesome.
Hopefully maybe we can be invited to do something again and stuff. So
it was just it was definitely a damper on that situation because I could have been had my parent been there in the first place, which my parent really is in a depressive state, and I don't know what to do. Because my parent does not want to go out. They don't want to do anything. They want to lay up. They just don't want to do. And it's depressing to me because it's like, dang, I'm doing all these dope, amazing things and you don't even want to see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Again, you can't control people and where they are in their mental state, but you also shouldn't let people take you down.
And that's why I did not go, because had I gone, it would have turned ugly real quick because I would have cussed them out and been like, you put yourself in this situation. You did this to yourself by not doing what is necessary. You are a whole ass diabetic. You want to eat bread, pasta.
All I'm saying to you though is, when you do get a chance, and you do express yourself, you gotta take that, put that by the wayside. You don't do this, you don't do that, do that. Focus on, I feel this way.
Right.
This is how it hurts me. Right. This is how it makes me feel. Right. Because because I already see there's the tension of the whole, you don't lecture me, you don't talk to me. You gotta bring it to your feelings. Right. Don't bring in why they not doing what they supposed to be doing. Right. And I think hopefully I can't, hopefully that may change the dynamic of it a little bit, or at least change their perspective on how they felt about how you handled the situation.
Yeah, it's been definite challenge, and it put a little damper on the situation. I'm not even gonna lie, because when I got the text, I was like, really,
but bro? It was also, I mean, you can't. I mean, you can kind of anticipate, but you anticipated it because you already knew that they weren't taking care of themselves, so you knew it was headed in that direction. So well, I am praying that for that their situation turns around in y'all relationship and their situation, and that maybe they realize that they are worth saving.
Yeah.
So
it's been a challenge, but I just want to say, parents out there, because I'm not a parent, so I don't know, I can't speak for parents out there. I know it's difficult. I know it's challenging raising children, and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's hard being an adult kid.
Yeah.
With parents that are having these, physical, mental, issues. It's hard being an adult child.
Yeah, it is. And the other thing that I just want to say too is that it made me realize too, like even in taking care of my mom, because I told, we think, Black people, we don't put our words and like that.
Yeah.
But as when I had that, because I'm an only child, basically, my sister passed away 16 years ago. So when I was in this predicament taking care of my mom, it was hard for me. Like I was losing myself and having physical issues and stuff. And so it was the best decision that I made to put my mom in a facility. Now I get to be her daughter again. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I can spend time with her and take her out and go to the, and have someone who let the professionals handle all that other piece that just wasn't my thing.
Right.
But the other thing too is that it also, from a flip perspective, made me realize when I told my kids, I said, I don't want you to lose your quality of life because you have to take care of me. If you feel like you got to put me in a home because that's the best thing, just make sure that we in the same state. Don't put me in a home here and you all the way in a whole nother state, because I need you to come regularly, check on me, make sure everybody taking care of me. But the other thing too is it also made me realize, like, I don't want my kids to have this burden. So it makes you want to take care of yourself. It really does. Like, and I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. Like I'm worse, but
at least you drink water, nigga.
Yeah, but it makes me want to take care of myself so that I don't leave my kids in a fucked up situation. Because my mom had her stroke at 49. I'm 49 now. She deteriorated. She's not even 70 yet. And I didn't think that I was going to have to be, I thought maybe 80, but because of the multiple strokes, that's what happened. But I do want to say that when you are a child and then you become an adult and then you become a parent, your perspectives change tremendously.
I can't wait till I have some kids, man, so you can be an auntie.
Yes.
Yeah, but like I'm gonna bring them over.
Yeah, but this was a great conversation because these therapy sessions help. Like I hope you feel good at least.
I'm good now.
Getting it off your chest.
I mean, because it helps other people. Like, because I know other people that are listening, viewers out there, that are watching. Please leave in the comments, like, what y'all are going through with y'all parents. Are y'all going through the same things?
Yes.
As far as like being, almost 40 and 50s, going through the same things with y'all parents.
We're at this age now that we're now taking care of our parents. But thank you for sharing. And
if I can't be honest here, where can I be honest at? And so, I'm telling my life, telling my truth in this podcast. And like I said, I have to be honest and open. And when we're having these conversations about our lives, it's not just our sex lives that we're talking about, it's our lives.
Well, all of that encompasses who we are as OMG. But we're going to take a quick break.
Yes.
And when we come back, we will have our special guest.
Yes.
All right.
Want to keep in touch with us and what we have going on? Visit our website at omgoddesses.com and join our VIP list. Check out our upcoming events. Need to add to your spicy bag? Well, click on Shop Bedroom Candy for the top of the line bath and body products, makeup, and bedroom accessories. Consider booking us for a fun, sexy, and educational show with your circle. We won't disappoint.
All right. So we are back with Sex, Love, and the Black Experience podcast. And we got a special guest with you guys.
Yeah.
We have Miss Cleopatruuh.
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 Yeah.
I think you true too, or you know what I'm saying. So let's give a hand. Yes. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for coming. You know, we enjoy having guests for us because we learn, we share, we grow, and then we also give. You know, again, we are also big about giving people a platform. That's what's important to us, and because we are in the realm of you know, sex positivity. We want to bring so many people on to just share their story. We're really big on exposing people of color to other people of color in that realm.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
And if you could just, you know, tell everybody all your names and just, you know, who you are in essence.
Am I supposed to be able to hear myself through here?
Can you hear yourself? Oh, bummer.
Okay. So can I skip them?
Yeah.
If they're not connected.
Yeah. I don't know why. Did he plug them in?
He did.
Oh, let me, maybe it needs to be. I don't know which one he plugged in. Can you hear yourself now?
No.
I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, my name is Cleopatruuh. That is my artist alias that many people know me as. My real name is Jamaica Carter, and I'm also a
Which is a dope name, too.
Thank you.
Hello. Okay.
Shout out to the parents.
Yes. Parents.
Yeah. And my dominatrix name is Mistress Mystii. So I have all these different aspects of myself that I like to share and showcase with the world. And I am a multidisciplinary artist, and now slowly integrating more of my artistry to lean towards fetish art and stuff of more like darker photography, sharing and showcasing kind of the aspects of the dark feminine. I've also been in the world of healing for the past 5 years and focusing on helping men and women, mostly women, with just helping them get in contact with their body, helping them come into awareness of themselves and finding new ways to release shame and any other blockages that keep us from being in our power. And so with that, I've now been integrating my fetish, my not so vanilla side with my vanilla side, and I'm merging those worlds, and I'm starting to offer tantric financial domination.
Okay, now what is tantric financial domination?
Talk to me. Wow, talk to
Yes.
So with the tantric portion, that is me kind of in the essence sharing my spiritual awareness and making sure that people understand how to worship a goddess and how to find true liberation through their sex and their sexuality and their sensual desires.
Okay, I'm loving that.
Yeah.
So that's the tantric portion. And then the financial domination, we're in a material world. I'm a material girl. And a lot of men, a lot of men want a lot of me, but they don't come with no offerings. So the financial domination is my lick back for my ancestors and making sure I get reparations. Making sure I get reparations.
Okay, so I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely, I saw that shit. I was like, okay, that is fire.
Yeah.
Like your whole explanation are like, look, you was like, my people, both sides from Louisiana.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you want to, you know what I'm saying? You want to
indulge.
Right.
You want to
not only that, and if
You want to dip and dabble.
I'm saying that you understand that reparations is important.
Absolutely.
So you want some of my time? Give me some. Give me some money. Hello?
I need an acre.
Hello.
I need a few acres.
Hello.
Acre.
Hello.
Yeah.
I love it.
Do you have like some clients that are like, oh yes, I because when in the sub world and stuff, a lot of times there are some people that like, they attach to that, they gravitate to that, and it makes them feel good. And they're like, I'll give you reparations, baby, for your time.
I'm still uncovering people who are into it. Here in Arizona, I posted on FetLife. the white men went off. They were pissed. They were pissed. They're like, how dare you ask for reparations? You don't even know what happened to white people. Trying to drill me. They're like, and do you know that Irish people were slaves?
I don't want to hear about no goddamn Irish.
I didn't ask all that.
Also, when the Irish came here,
right,
because white didn't exist. It was you were Irish, Georgia,
right,
German, or whatever. White existed when it came here because they all band together,
right,
so that they can not be othered. Because when the Irish were here, yes, they were othered, but then they looked and was like, well, the niggas,
right?
So we white too, just like you. So that's bullshit. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, all that. They were coming from my head. I forgot what type of state we're in. So here in the state, and the person that I did have pay reparations, it was very interesting because he's in Welsh. He's not even in America. So I'm like,
a lot of times they understand more. Even when you go to Europe, they still have like the black statues and stuff like that. It's here that everything has been whitewashed.
Yeah, we were
the white
colonized,
all of that stuff, right? So yeah, that I could totally understand why you got that flag. And so what? You know what I'm saying?
I listen on this podcast.
Pro-black.
I'm very pro-black, and everybody would have been cussed out, tremendously cussed out.
I'll give it to you for free.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
Don't even give them because that's giving them some of your power and your time.
Yeah, no.
And you ain't paying me to even cuss you out, so screw you.
No, you gotta pay me to get cussed out consensually. Consensually, I want to be paid. If you want to be humiliated, you pay me to do that. Like, I'm not here to educate you either, and that is your job and your duty. And it was nice because a white woman got up in the comments and she was clapping back, and I was like, she's like, I find it funny how y'all saying this to a black woman. I was like, see, I don't even have to say shit because you should already know by now. It's 2023.
Hello.
It's 2023. It wasn't that long ago when women and black women in specific didn't have so many of this freedom and liberation to claim their sex and their sexuality, and it was being demonized and colonized and taken advantage from us. So now I have the opportunity for my ancestors to make sure I get reparations by making sure people know how to approach me. Don't come without no fucking offerings.
Right.
Make sure you come on with the offerings.
Lessons.
Come correct.
Ancestors, the blessings.
Yeah. But I love what you said about black women, because one of the issues that we always talk about like Juneteenth just passed, right?
Yeah.
And so they talk about all types of liberation, but a lot of people want to backtrack from sexual liberation.
Yes.
Right. And I'm like, like even like these pro-black, especially like black men, they're so, liberation must, but they don't want to liberate the black woman in sexuality, sexual liberation.
Not fully ready for that.
But you for the black family, but you don't realize that it takes sex to have that black family, right? The other thing too is that our bodies were not our own for so long. You understand what I'm saying? And we still fighting today. For our rights of our bodies, right? And so why would you not include sexual liberation in Juneteenth? That's important. I actually did. We put a reel out about that. Like sexual liberation should be part of the conversation when it comes to Juneteenth.
It's unfortunate that we still have to have these god awful conversations around all encompassing, right? But sexual liberation is one of the most non-discussive things in the black community. Sex is like literally off topic. Now we're getting to a point to where we can have the conversation, but we still gotta fight. It's like last night, did shout outs to Mr. Bowtie and the whole Bowtie team for Desert Splash went up there and made me some money. You know what I'm saying? My ancestors was very happy last night. And I schooled a lot of people last night because they were like, yo, I didn't know this, I didn't know that, I didn't know you can do this, I didn't know XYZ. I said, yeah. And what I do is work. This is ministry work. This is ministry work.
Yes.
My brother and my sister, this is ministry work. What I do is educational purposes only. And you gonna pay me for my time.
Yes.
Run me my bread.
Yeah.
Period. And so, they found it, a lot of, still, and a lot of black men were like,
yeah, still a lot when it comes to black men.
Yeah, because they can't handle,
toys.
The dicks and the toys and all that kind of stuff. They still get uncomfortable. It's
There's a lot of shame wrapped in it still.
It's just like, what? Like,
I mean, we could do it when it's like in our music and in the pop culture.
Absolutely.
Like, no issue.
Right.
Telling women, oh, do this, da 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 da, whatever.
Right.
You could talk like that with your homies.
Right.
But when it comes to the bedroom, like, you're scared to get a finger in your butt. And that's not something to be ashamed of. So
Not at all.
I don't.
Well,
feel
they associate it with the act with orientation.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like you can't associate the act with orientation. If you are getting a finger in your butt by a woman, then how does that make you gay?
It doesn't. But
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, that is the shame.
Yeah.
And the guilt. It's like you can't even experience what's so deep is because you don't even understand. You know what I'm saying? That is where your G spot is, your B spot.
Men love it.
Because you are so
God has such much and
such a humor. That's why I know God is a woman. I'm like, God is a woman. Like I'll show you. Yo, what it in your ass, ho. But what I'm saying,
you all goofy niggas, I'm gonna show y'all niggas. I'm gonna show you.
I'll do it
better than I can tell you, and that's how you know God is a black woman.
But it's the shame and the guilt, and so you are not even allowing yourself to experience the full pleasure, the fullness of pleasure.
Absolutely not,
because we stuck up in these morals. Like, oh, that's gay, that's this and that, and how you're associating orientation with the act, and it's not.
Yes.
Period.
Two separate fields.
It's very interesting because Fleek and I were having this conversation on Superman Barnes podcast the other day. We were talking about bisexual, being bisexual, and how the whole thing about bisexual. And I said it's acceptable for women to be bisexual in this society without a blink of an eyelash. How many women have come out as bisexual?
Oh, we out here.
Yeah, we be out here. And it's like, without no problem. It's not about an eyelash.
Yeah.
But God, let a man be bisexual. The world is going to fucking crumble.
On both sides. Like, even women don't accept, like, they wouldn't even date a man who says he's bisexual.
I'll do it.
Right. Well, I saw that you were pansexual.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'll go there.
But tell us what pansexual is. Some people don't
right. So pansexual is like, if you're a non-binary person or a trans person, I'd be open to connecting with you. Like, that's not going to stop me from connecting if you're a man or a woman or whatever the hell you choose to claim. I don't care. Like, I'll work with you through it if we're on the same wavelength, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's not gonna like limit me from experiencing another person, is what I've discovered, because I was bisexual for a long time and I was like, yeah, that's tight, I like that, that's amazing. I was like, I love women.
You're a very rare butterfly.
Aw.
You see what I'm saying? And so when we were having the conversation, he was like, yeah, I said, no, brother. No. Let's be honest and be real for a second. Right? We still have stigmas.
Yeah.
In the black community. I'm speaking only for blackness. I can't speak for the others. I don't speak for them. I speak for us. In our community, that's a no. For a black man to be fully himself.
But even in the LGBTQ plus community, bisexuality sometimes has stigma,
right?
Because
absolutely.
You'll find that they it's like a force you to choose. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, or they'll say, like, typically they'll say, well, a bisexual man is really gay, but he claims he's bisexual to make it more appealing or easier to accept. Or a bisexual woman, she just wants to have her cake and eat it too. And it's like, why can't people just be
what they want to
be, as opposed to putting them in a box and saying you either have to be gay or straight.
Right.
Yeah, it's because a lot of people, when it comes to sex and sexuality, they're still closed in. I feel like religion, family, societal, all the different layers of conditioning are really where that lens and that closed offness comes into play. Right. So when we really start to decolonize our sex, decolonize our bodies,
come on, decolonization.
Be able to find that primal essence of like what sex is and like how we're attracted to others. It's a very primal thing, you know?
Yes, yeah.
Like to find anyone attractive, I feel like that's a very primal feeling that you awaken within yourself. And so when you're going through and you're judging someone, oh, I don't like that this person's so flamboyant or da-da-da. Why are you still shaming yourself by looking at this other person in a way? If you don't identify with that, or if you don't want to behave in that manner or express that part of yourself,
right,
go ahead, don't do it, you know, but don't project that on top of people and be in a space where you're trying to shame others because you have that deep internalized shame. And now you need to make other people feel that way because you haven't come to terms that maybe you are trans, or maybe you are bisexual, or maybe you are pansexual, and you haven't accepted that for yourself yet. And I'm grateful for like Black men who are exposing themselves. There's a Black gay man, he's out here and he's got his own strip club for the queer, and I'm like, yes, young Poe Master, get the shit. Yeah. So there's a queer strip club, and there's more liberation.
You know, there's a T-Girl show on Mondays in Scottsdale, BS West, with Regina Gazelle. She put that together. So it's trans women, and it's their own show, topless. But what's cool about it too is that the staff are also trans.
Okay.
On during that show, and I definitely want to check it out. It's just on a what do you call them, Kiki, on a school night? It's like I gotta figure out to get to Scottsdale on a Monday night to go, because I really want to go and support.
Yes.
To support Regina. Shout out to Regina Gazelle.
Yes. Legend.
She spoke at our Melanated Sex Expo.
And did. And called us legends. I say, what?
I'm like, she's the legend. She's been around for, over 5 decades here in the community. She's like, she's considered like the role model, or the people that the auntie, mother, everybody knows that, the mother,
Yes.
But I want to talk to you about collaboration.
Yes, come on, because we just collaborated with Sir Styles. Shout out to Styles. We love Styles.
Yes, he had an amazing event where we had performers and people just chill. You saw, I loved it too. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. I love hanging around open, free people. Like, I don't even want to be around vanilla people that much anymore.
I know I could pull it out of a vanilla person. Like, people be telling me all their stuff, so I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, right.
But it's because you got this vibe that people feel comfortable enough to share, and that's the thing. And so we're all about vibes. We like to connect with people who got a vibe, and then we also like to help each other.
Yes.
To me, collaboration is the key to growth and success, because you don't know everything, they don't know everything. You got a little something, they got a little something. We could bring it together. Also, especially here in Arizona, I think collab is so important.
Yeah.
Because like when I see people down in Atlanta, they popping it, especially in the world of sex positivity, body positivity, and all of that. We can do the same thing here in Arizona.
Yes.
So it's important. So let's talk about like your approach to collaboration in this industry, and why do you feel it's important?
All right. So my background of collaboration comes from like my art world. So that's like fashion, hair, makeup, all that jazz. And I feel like now for me to also extend that into like my events, because I've done the healing events and I've done stuff like that, the workshops, I really want to branch out and collaborate with others who are educated, who have this different perspective on the backgrounds of sex, sexuality, gender, nonconforming, all these things that are really tying into things. And like, I just found this account there, Decolonizing Love, talking about polyamory and stuff. So I feel like there's so many aspects that get skipped when it comes to sex. And I feel like when I approach my collaborations, I'm going in with my ancestors in mind, like, how can I pay them their respect? You know what I mean? And coming from women who are from in Louisiana, where we had our sex very much so repressed, and to the point it's been like so shamed and internalized that I've had to break through all of that. And I feel like I've done a lot of inner work where now I can share and expose my truths and stop separating myself. So I feel like what my goals are with my collaboration are to intentionally create the space so people could drop in, get into your body, get into your mind, understand the psychology of why you feel the way you feel, and then also allow yourself to just play. Like, there's so much judgment and ridicule when it comes to how we show up in this area, the sex, you know. Sex is so taboo still for whatever reason, and like there's so much like guilt around expressing our desires, especially for like women. Just really helping others understand how to communicate their boundaries, their consent, their whatever it is, whatever the subject matter is. So when it comes to that, I'm also into the realm of education. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
If you're not educated, how are you going to know? I'm someone who's had to struggle with like facing STDs. So I'm like really trying to push that. I want to collab with the Southwest Health Institute in Phoenix and help them promote safe sex. We need to have age appropriate sex conversations with children because the children, they're sexual, you know, they have sexual energy at a young age, and they have to learn how to take care of that and how to nurture it and how to protect their bodies. And I'm someone who's come from a background where I was being abused as a child. So now I, as an adult, it's my duty to protect those who cannot protect themselves. And how do we protect ourselves? Giving them the right tools and resources so they are aware of how to take care of this. Your body's sacred, so treat it as such. Giving people the right knowledge and information, they can make the right choices. You know what I mean? Like, nobody talked to me about sex. Nobody gave me a conversation. Oh, this is how you no, I just fucked around and found out.
Many times.
I had to learn.
I want to speak on that because that's one of the things that we want to do is focus on. Consent is really important to us, and we think like teaching it even as little as like just, you know, permission to, can I hug you? Can I do this? Like starting and teaching young people to understand that their body is theirs.
Autonomy.
And that everybody and nobody, you know what I'm saying, they don't have to be touched in a certain way, and that they are worthy. You know what I'm saying? And I think if those conversations, see, people think that it's just about this is how you put a condom on it, this is that, or they just don't want to have that conversation. Let's talk about the self-worth and this and that. So then when you make the decision to have sex with somebody, you're doing it from a perspective, now I'm doing it because
I feel pressured, or this person,
he'll like
everybody's
me if
doing it around
or
you know?
or if they'll like me if I do it. No, I'm gonna tell you this, my son, because I hate this concept that a lot of people, like when their son is like, yeah, my son having sex, and their daughter is like, oh no, you can't
do that to your married.
They can have a daughter and a son and treat them totally separate. I saw my son, your body is special. You a prize. So you don't be out here giving your body to just anybody either. It has to be somebody that you feel connected to. And you know, he came back to me, he said, I really appreciated that conversation because a lot of people, I hated that people were raising their sons to be hoes. But you got to remember that they're fucking somebody's daughter. And you putting your daughter on this pedestal, isn't that daughter worthy of being put on a pedestal as well? So these are conversations that we need to have when we have those conversations about consent and self-worth. And young men need to understand that they don't need to be out here doing all of that, you know, doing that too. I'm not saying you can't have sex or be out here and express yourself. It's just understanding your why behind it, why you're doing
intentional.
And being intentional.
Be mindful. Like, it's, you can have sex. It was fun. Okay, cool. We did all that. But what happens when you getting pregnant and you wasn't supposed to be getting pregnant, or you don't have the resources, or you don't have funds to back that up. You don't have the family to back that up. You know what I mean? And we're having these unconscious children. We're having unconscious contracts with people. And we're not giving ourselves or that child the opportunity to have the fair life that they deserve, which is two people showing up and we're going to do the work. That's what that should be. You know, if you're going to lay down with somebody, you prepare for those consequences of maybe co-creation of who knows what. You know what I mean? No, if you're not being mindful, or if you give someone STD because you're sleeping with this girl, that girl, this girl, that
and you're
girl,
not getting tested. That's important too. We like at our expo. We had Can Community Health, and we had on-site STI. We had on-site HIV testing. First thing some people said to me was that I've never been tested.
Wow.
But a lot of that is like, is it access to our community? Like, what is that? And so for us, when we do stuff, we're always about safe sex.
It's definitely access. And it's definitely the education and the knowing. And then the fear.
It's the shame.
The shame around it.
No shame.
Right.
I'm like, get it.
And so, you know, for me, I've been, getting tested well into my early 20s. You know what I'm saying? And so I get tested often than most. I did have an STD scare, and it rocked my world.
Yeah.
Because the government got involved.
Oh,
yeah. When the
government puts
when the public health department knocks on your door.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's how serious it was.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah, yeah,
dangerous.
Yeah, because niggas was out here lying, and spreading it wide.
That's where I hold shame.
Yeah,
like, come on, we gotta do better.
And when I tell you, I was like, yo, tell me to do. I knew who it was. Of course, legally, they could not tell me the actual name of the person.
Whoa.
No, that's how serious it was.
Intense.
Yeah. But I knew, because I know who the fuck I'm sleeping with.
Yeah.
And I know who I'm out here doing stuff with. And I was like, yeah, you ain't got to tell me. As soon as they told me the dates, and I was like, yeah, I know exactly.
Chopped and screwed.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
And so it just, when I tell you, I get tested often, all the time. Got tested on site that Saturday when Can came out, and I was like, negative bitches, we don't play that around here.
I like that they educated you too while they tested.
They did, and I love that. And so it was important because, again, a lot of our people have this fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
And it's so important as a family, as a community, that we take care of that, and we get the proper, the proper testing and condom, prevention. And not only that, this will piss me off. I have to say this because I do a lot of reels for our business. I do a lot of stuff for social media, and I love this podcast. Shout outs to the Hard and Soft Show podcast with Tahoe and Loon. But they're not sex educators. They're just, they just talk about sex. You know what I'm saying? They're not they don't have a sex education background. And so they were having this conversation with another young man. You see where I'm going with this? And they were talking about condoms. And it really just drove my biscuits. And when Nisha saw it, she was like, what the fuck?
It was gross.
Yeah, because Tahoe was like, so you out here just, you put the condom on with one shorty and then you use the condom with the other
recycling the condom. And the sex toys. He brought out the sex toys. Yeah. Like, he said, and then he said, don't, what did he say? Don't, he said, don't the vagina
cleanses
washes itself.
I can't.
I had a man try to do that. He was trying to reuse a condom, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck away from my pussy.
He really does. No, but he was like, and the language that he was using, the kill, murder, all of that. He was like, yo, when you have a kill, right? You know what I'm saying? You just don't be out here using you know what I'm saying, with the condom, and you just killing the other shorty with the other kid. I'm like, yo. And then
just spreading the bacterial disease.
Literally.
But to me, I feel like it's an opportunity to teach people. Everybody should carry their own condom.
Have those condoms on
have your own, and it's not shameful, or don't let no man shame you because you brought your own condoms to the party.
Beat condoms. Shout outs to the Beat condoms. Black owned condom. And I put that in the remix. I had the box, the premium box of Beat condoms, and I was like, help.
Yeah.
Help. Like, I was just so, and they thought it was hilarious, but I was like, no, I'm dead ass serious. Like, this is the type of stuff. And again, all the men in the room were over 30 having this conversation. Everybody's over 30.
This is why I train men.
Yeah.
Like,
It's why you donated. And I want to ask you that too.
I can't.
Yeah.
It's just, it literally was like, and again, there was 2 stories. So that was the young man's story. And then Loon, he was like, yeah, so I had the condom on, but the first shorty wasn't trying to give it up. So I just left the condom on.
And went to the
next one with the condom still on, and she gave it. I'm like, wait a minute,
That's trifling.
If I knew his pants down and had the condom already on, I'd be like, where?
I am not even fucking you.
lick
First
condom,
condom.
lick.
He got jeans on his condom.
Right, like what?
That's a John Doe. Get that shit away. I would look at you with you got the most motherfucking audacity in the room. I would be like, pull your
had
drugs
sex
up.
with him, so clearly there
We gotta do better. We gotta do better.
Clearly there was no problems here, because the first young lady was not giving it.
I'm happy for her, but second woman, listen,
Came to
send help.
But that comes back to the self-worth.
It does.
All those different things.
Yes.
We gotta connect with ourselves.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you because I don't know a lot about tantric sex and tantra. Can you kind of give a because when I look at tantra, I know it has some spirituality to it, and then some people might be into tantra, but not connected to the sex part of it, right? So, can you give us a perspective of what tantra is, and how does that impact your sexuality, and what do you do? Like, what is that?
Okay, that's a great question. Okay, so when you look online, everybody sees tantra as sex, you know?
Yes.
That's it. Really, that's the information that people are putting out here, and I find it's very misleading because it's way beyond the sex. It's really about liberation. When I look at tantra, it's about liberation. And how can I liberate my mind, body, and soul to the divine with this person? And whether it's by myself or with a partner. And that's before we even have sex. And with my tantric practices, I work with Cleopatruuh. I've been working with her since 2012. She appeared to me when I was in high school. So having that pubescent awakening and like understanding like I'm allowed to be sexy. I'm allowed to, express myself freely and stop kind of repressing parts of my sensual essence. And over the years, I had to discover like, you can't have all that liberation and freedom and joy and bliss and like orgasmic juiciness if you don't work through your trauma. Ooh, it's gonna get real sexy with some shadow work. You have to face yourself. I personally, like I said, I went through a lot of childhood abuse in my sex. That was my first wound, I'd say, that I got to learn and master was understanding that I have a high sexual potency and people are drawn to it, and people will try to take it from me if I don't know my worth, if I don't know myself, if I don't know how to speak and speak from my sacral enough to go through my throat and be like, no, that does not feel good, or whatever it is. So for me, tantra has really been about liberation, and I work with a lot of different Egyptian gods and goddesses. I know that there's a Hindu version, there's the Buddhist version, and the Egyptians, and there's practices all over the world that have incorporated tantra as a way to connect with divine, to connect with the source of all creation. You know what I mean?
So yours is African.
Egyptian.
Okay.
Egyptian. And then the Hindu deities also come into play too. Okay. And they've worked with me over the years and kind of started to merge and bring me some more of the Buddhist information. And so I kind of have a worldview, and I understand tantra as this is an aspect that people haven't been given access to because we know our sex is too powerful. You create child when you have sex. That is cosmic combustion. That's the most scientific thing you can make. Biggest science experiment.
Right.
So when you get into the nitty gritty of what underlies the sex, we have the shame, we have the guilt, we have the blame. And so in the beginning of my process and my journey, I had to really release shame and guilt. And I was not sure how to love on my body. So I was just letting whoever sleep with me, kind of not really having much understanding of what my body means, what my sovereignty means, my bodily sovereignty, my sexual sovereignty, taking full ownership of my desires. And as a woman, I feel like we're not really given much information on that. They just throw us to the wolves, and it's like, sexualize yourself. But it's like, before you sexualize yourself, know what you're doing. Be intentional with your presentation, you know, be mindful of how you express and expose yourself to the world, you know, because that part of you is the most sacred, and you could do whatever you want. I'm also a sex worker on top of me being in the tantric field, and I feel like I've had this opportunity to really reveal what's underneath the guilt. Like, why do I not allow myself to feel sexy? And the first thing that Cleopatruuh had me do was I had to heal my relationship with my masculine, because that masculine energy within me was very wounded, because I kept getting wounded by men in the realms of sex.
Yeah.
And at a young age, I didn't know how to protect myself. I didn't know how to have a conversation, you know, and it was really conflicting when I'm laying down with someone and I just would dissociate. And I'm like, oof, that's not safe.
Mm-mm.
That's not safe at all. And so Cleopatruuh had me do some DNA rewiring, where I had to go through and kind of face all of the relationships that I've had with men. Every single one. The ones I wanted and unwanted. Every interaction that was in a way that my sexual boundaries were crossed, or I was not giving my consent or utilizing my voice to speak on my desires or my own pleasure. And she made me review that, and I had to go through this deep shadow work wound where I'm like, woo, that hurts.
Sure.
That hurts, you know, looking at the ways that I didn't stand up for myself. But she was like, I want you to know you are worthy, and you do deserve to be a queen and a goddess. And how does goddess show up? Goddess needs offerings. Goddess needs a safe space. So when I think about Tantra, it's really about giving it to goddess. Gods, we give it to y'all all day. Everybody be like, amen. Don't forget about the women. Hold up. Because goddess needs the space to be sacred and to be sexual and to be sensual and feral and primal and free in her body, because when she is liberated in that sense, all things, we gonna have peace on this motherfucking earth.
Right.
We gonna have peace on this earth. If the women are liberated in their sex, and if the men support us in that and create that safe space, then we will have world peace. I really feel that.
Well, I already feel. I always say until the black woman is free, all people are free.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you for sharing that. So, like, if someone wanted to practice tantra, or you like, do you teach that? Do you help? So, how does that start? Like, I'm a beginner and I want to come to you and...
Okay, so first I'm going to need my offering.
Okay.
You got to book me, because I spend a lot of time and energy doing the work that I do, and I'm going to connect, I'm going to tap you in. So you want to tap into your pleasure, I'm going to tap you in. Right. And I like to activate all the senses. So first is coming correct and making sure you know what you're signing up for. We're going to get into, what is it about your sexuality that you need to know? What is it about your sensual essence that you need to know about yourself? And so we'll come, and then I will set up the space, and we'll create a space that is sacred. So we're going to create an altar. We're going to create a moment where this is between just us, or whoever. If you have a partner there with us, whatever, you and the partner, I'll be in the room, but you won't notice I'm in the room. And I would create the space in a way where you understand each and every step of the way is for honoring the goddess. This is for honoring the goddess. She's been repressed. She has not been given her worship enough. So we honor the goddess, have a goddess altering, bring her flowers, bring her fresh fruit, you know, set that up, set that intention, and become very clear on what it is that we're steering towards. And then we're going to release by doing all the things that are hard, which is deep intimacy. Most humans can't have intimacy because there's so many blockages, so much disconnection. I said it. It's the technology sometimes. We are really disconnected from our bodies and each other, and we haven't had the opportunity to, like, have you ever stared someone in the eyes? No words. Don't say anything, just staring at them. It's hard to do. I've done it. It's very hard. Some people are on the verge of tears. Some people are laughing because they're uncomfortable and they never had someone look at them for that long. You know what I mean? And that type of exercise would be something I would incorporate. So it's like, let's drop in. Let me see who you are, you know, for who you really are, not for who you pretend to be for the world. You know what I mean? Who's the intimate being at the core of your soul? And we're going to create a space and dynamic where you get to know that. And I'm going to ask you really deep questions, like, that are going to make you think, who taught you shame? When was the first time you felt shame? When was the last time you allowed yourself to feel sexy without any compromise, without you doing it for somebody else, doing it for you? And then we'll go through a series of practices. I kind of have a very intuitive approach because, like I said, I work with all the different deities, so whatever they want, and each person would be different. I would set the ceremony to cater to whatever it is coming up, and I'll probably pull oracle cards. I'll probably like channel some information for them to think about, have you go into a deep meditation, have you go through sensual touch, maybe ask for consent, practice asking for consent, asking boundaries. What are your boundaries? When was the last time you set a boundary? Do you know what it feels like to feel safe in your body? When was the last time you felt safe in your body? You know what I mean? And then we could get all to the sexy rah-rah orgasmic stuff.
Yeah.
But we have to get through the basic of that core level of intimacy, which is working through that shame, that judgment, that guilt of having desires. I know I'm fucking attractive. So when people are attracted to me, I tell them, I'm like, we have a contract. We have work to do, like spiritually. And if you have a sexual contract with me, Cleopatra already know what the deal is. Like, especially with men, I try to tell them, come correct, because whatever you give, you getting it. And I'm going to be very concise on what you offer, you know, and what you're receiving, because if you're going to be ruthless and try to ravage or take owner, none of that. So in the goddess realm, I'm in control. I'm leading the experience. You're following my lead. And that's something that women haven't had in a long time. And when we create the safe space for a man or a woman, either way, or whatever else you identify as, when you create that safe space for someone to drop into their body and you see them spiritually, that sex would be amazing.
Absolutely.
That sex would be amazing because you see the God and you see the goddess in them, and you're not separating them with your perspective or your projections of who you think they are. You rip beyond what that is. You know, can you see all of their attractiveness and not just see like the body, like, oh, she's got beautiful, juicy breasts. Okay, and what's beneath it? Can you see my heart? Can you see my mind? Do you see the way I think? No? Then we haven't connected really. Our body shouldn't even be touching it. You know what I'm saying? And so Tantra is like getting into that awareness.
Love it.
Getting into that awareness that the body is sacred. And if I'm going to share it with you, I'm going to make sure you know yours is too. And so when we get into that intimacy, it's asking those hard questions. One question I really love to ask men, this one gets them. What is it about you that I should be concerned about?
Wow.
What should I be conscious of about you? You know? What's in your shadows that you are not expressing out loud that I need to know? And even for me, when I tell them, ask me that question, I'm gonna
well, because people, when they come together, we always say when you first meet, you're bringing your representative. It's like it's your representative. Like it's like interviewing for a job. You know,
you're like,
they don't know that sometimes you come in late and you bring your best there. I'm great and I collaborate. They don't know that you be like, I don't feel like coming in.
Right.
You know, and it's like,
you don't tell them that.
What these guys
You a team worker. You know,
no, I know. Goddamn teamwork. I want to do with that.
But no, so something like that. How long typically how many sessions or something like that would that take?
I feel like
Roughly.
We could start in one session. You could have groundbreaking experiences. I've had people reflect back to me like, after a ceremony, and I do ceremonies with like large groups of women, so like 20 women, and we're all crying by the end of it, but we feel sexy as fuck when I turn on that twerking music, because now we liberated ourselves and we stop holding all that dead weight, that's holding us back from our true expression.
Right.
And it can happen in one session. I've seen it. And
that's amazing.
It can also happen over time, depending on how much conditioning, how much pain or trauma or resentment or guilt you have to uncover and unpack. It depends for each person. That journey can look different because not everybody has the same framework and is able to, like people see me and they're like, oh, you're so confident, because I did the work.
Yeah.
I've been doing the work, not stop. It don't stop. You know what I mean? I pause. I experience the pleasures of life. I'm holistically hedonistic. So I pause and I stop healing sometimes and be a human. And I find pleasure in the day-to-day life. And I feel like that's something that's helped me over time. It's like, it's an everyday practice. I'm in my pleasure activism era, so every day I practice giving myself pleasure.
Yeah.
It's not me like laying down and like having sex with somebody. Yeah, that's one thing. That's one way. I could lay down and masturbate and manifest some shit, whatever I want. Yes. Or it's me cooking myself breakfast and pouring all my love into it. Or doing my skincare routine. Or, you know, making sure I talk to me nice. Like I was driving over here doing some affirmations with my girl. Her name's Amber the Baddie. Check her out. She's got some bad bitch affirmations. And I was just really appreciating that love that I was giving myself and the liberation to know that I am that love with or without a body next to me, with or without somebody like, you know, giving me that, yeah, you're beautiful. No, I got to know that, you know, I got to understand that for myself.
I think also being in a relationship too, is like, you have to do that to yourselves, because sometimes your partner may not, they going through their own shit too.
Yeah, right.
And so, and if you constantly looking for that affirmation and validation from your partner, because I'm learning this, like for so long I was single, and now, I'm married. And sometimes like when they don't respond the way I think, then I'm feeling like, well, do they really? Well,
you start making up stories, right?
Right. And I had to check myself, like, bitch, you can affirm yourself.
You can give it to you. Who's gonna give it to you?
Right.
Yes.
And I have
gonna give it to you.
I know, and I've learned that, and it's made me so much better in relationships, because I'm not feeling like
empty,
and also being codependent.
Yes,
that's the most important.
That's the big one.
Is being codependent, and so it's like not looking to that person to validate me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, but already feeling secure and validated myself. And then they can add to it, but not expecting them to, make my cup full.
Yeah.
And so you saying that was just eye opening for me, because that's what I've been struggling with, just being married, because I didn't understand what marriage was. This really, because I've been single for so long, and sometimes as Black women too, we're like, we get married and then we don't even. It's a lot of issues with that. Just being like, so for so long we taught to do it yourself, be
independent,
and so we don't even allow our partners to even be, even pour into us, because we be so busy trying to, I got it. It's so much when it comes to that. That's a whole story.
Tantra can help with that too.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
It's all about being receptive.
Yes.
Giving and receiving, equanimity, making sure we equally give and take. You know what I mean? And I feel like I definitely resonate with that hyper independence, Black woman phase. I went through it, but now I'm in the goddess era. Like, goddess is telling me, you receive.
Yes.
You sit back and receive.
Yeah.
Sit back, baby.
I need a little bit of that, because I'm still in that like control.
And it takes relinquishing control. I just wrote a post last night. I was like, you really want to experience the fullness of your ecstasy or your pleasure, you got to relinquish control. And I feel like with my dominatrix work, I'm learning that, like, that's really what it is.
And being a dom and how is that, being a dom but still relinquishing control?
I feel like it's really fantastic. It's really beautiful to see how my dominance is showcasing itself, because I feel like I've always been a dominant woman, but I didn't allow myself to like really brag and boast of that shit. Like when men meet me, I'm telling them right off the bat, I'm a dominatrix and I'm a dominant woman. So what do you want from me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to just connect on that level, because I feel what you want, and it's, it's deeper than that. So if you're going to try to connect with me on that level, I want you to be intentional, because when you do come to me and you are a submissive man, I'm gonna make sure you feel safe in your desires. You're asking me to do, you want to suck my toes? Shout out to my subs who be sucking my toes.
I saw those pictures on the fat like I was like, get the toes sucked, girl.
No, that was a really big breakthrough for me, because like I was always ticklish on my feet, and just that one fetish has helped me break through and relinquish my own control, because I was like, I don't know, I'm about to have my foot in somebody's mouth, and like I've had it, but it was different to be guided.
And that's why I've been doing the one where you stepping on their face.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kinky Kira, because we had Kinky Kira on here, and she was the one that performed with the fire. The wax.
Yeah.
And she talks about that. That's what she does. And she kind of broke that down on our podcast. But one more thing that I want to ask you, and then we're gonna go to the spicy bag.
Ooh.
you are dope. I saw some of your poetry and erotic poetry, and I'm wanting to get into the erotic fiction era. Like I actually have an outline for three books.
Yeah.
And it's really loosely based off of my life.
Yes.
But it's my sexual liberation didn't come into my 40s, right?
Yes.
So it's really like a story of a Black woman and her sexual liberation from 40 to 50, because I'll be 50 next month.
Ooh.
And I'm breaking it into 3 books.
I like the,
You know, it's like it starts from the prude all the way to, you know,
maturity.
And the maturity, and then even now having a partner and sharing in that sexual liberation. So I am, but I'm nervous because I've never really written like that. So where do you start from that? Like, where does that creativity come in for you? And what are your plans to do it? You know, do you plan on being published? What are you looking to do with that?
Ooh, okay. So
Loaded question.
yeah, I know. All of my creativity comes from my ancestors. Yeah. Shout out, respect.
Yeah.
And it also comes from my sexuality.
Yeah.
So I like that I exude my sexuality in a way that you can see it oozing in everything I touch.
Yeah.
So everything I do in creation is from my sexual like pull, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm pulling some juicy stuff out, you know?
Listen, I was reading, I was like, oh shit. Okay. All right, sis.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of it is influenced by that arousal. Like, I feel very aroused when I'm creating. I feel very turned on by creation. Like, this conversation is even turning me on. So I was like, I was driving over here. I was like, dang, it's a fucking good day. If I say so, my titties shining. Like, you know, and I could feel that creative concoction kind of pulling like from your guys' energy, from whatever else in the day, and then my friend hit me up to do a live jam session. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I kind of just, it's an intuitive thing, really, and it's really about listening. It's really about listening. There's a lot of noise, but can you listen? So in the morning I meditate. I give myself the space to clear my mind and get in the mindset that I want for the day and set that intention. And then throughout the day, I just kind of have an intuitive pull, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go over here. Okay, Spirit says go over here. All right, bet I'm gonna go, I'm gonna have this conversation, you know? And I feel like from there, a lot of the ideas just start to flow in, and I'll just be like, light bulb, you know, like having a moment where I'm like, I'm gonna work on this ebook, or I'm gonna work on some graphics, or whatever it is that I'm working on. And I feel like because of my sexual drive and the fact that I've learned how to maintain it in my creative force versus me just popping pussy all over the world as much as I would want to. As much as I would want to. I gotta do it artistically. You know? I'm an art hoe. I'm an art Haus,
love it.
Haus stands for human on earth. Oh, I am a hoe. And I'm a slut too. I'm a sovereign, loving, universal teacher. So, a hoe.
Okay, those are t-shirts.
Yes.
I told you I'm an idea person. Those are t-shirts. And when you get them, when you make them, I'm gonna be your first.
Okay, okay, it's happening. Sluts Unite, art hoes, all the hoes. You know, and so you were saying, where did it all come from? I feel like it just comes from source. It comes from my ancestors. It comes from the universe. And I just be tuned in. I'd be listening. And I'd be trying to stay in my pleasure, stay in my joy. If I follow my joy, I'm always given the right idea, being in the right place at the right time. And I connect with the right people because they see who I am, and like we're on the same wavelength. So it's just that clear. And I'm just really grateful because in this next phase of life, I am undergoing my yoga teacher training. So I'm figuring out how to holistically merge my shadow aspect of my sex work with my holistic light work. And I really want to do some dope stuff. Like I want to do some naked yoga events.
Oh my God.
Naked book club.
That's hot.
Something like
that.
So
we talked about collab. So we'll have to talk offline because there's some things that I think, you know, when we talk about collab, I think we can all like work together and make some shit pop, because our goal is to create safe spaces for people and expose people of color to these different, you know, aspects of sex, sexuality with people that look like them. So definitely
representation matters.
Absolutely. But yeah, you're dope. I loved your energy, and so we are about good vibes and energy, and we just had to have you on our show, and just thank you so much. And this is not the end. We would definitely continue.
We gonna be working, y'all.
We're gonna
tell y'all.
We're gonna do the spicy bag, and then afterwards you're gonna tell us tell our audience how they can find you, because I'm sure they want to find you. You know.
Yes.
So we are bedroom candy, consultants, and we love all things bedroom candy around here.
Yes.
Bedroom candy has some great
black-owned, Candy Burris from Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is her line. This is her business.
So what I have in my hand, I can smell it from here.
Yeah.
So what I have in my hand is called Flawless.
Yes.
And it is, and it's in the scent Island Joy, and it's our bath and shower gel. And I'm gonna let you smell it, Pumpkin.
She can smell it already. I can smell it when you opened it to take it. Yeah.
My name's Jamaica. I feel like the scent was made.
I enjoy it.
Yeah,
It just has an amazing lather. It has some incredible ingredients in here, y'all. And everything is vegan, organic. I'm just going to run off some of the, ingredient list. We got leaf juice in here. Okay, we got some... what is it?
I can't.
Papaya. We got some royal jelly. Come on, royal jelly.
Yes.
We got coconut milk. We got some honey in here.
And I'm sensitive. I have sensitive skin. And I can't use the Bath and Body line.
And we have organic shea butter. We get all of our shea butter from Ghana. So shout outs to the mother.
It's a village. It's a women's village in Ghana. It's actually it's one of our lines.
Mm-hmm. The Giving Tree.
The Giving Tree line. And so it's really cool that when you're purchasing something from the Giving Tree line, that the shea butter is actually created by women in a village of Ghana to sustain their lives. So it's like small businesses. The other thing with Bedroom Candy too is that she works with a lot of the creators of the products and stuff are Black women, small business owners, and
support Black women business.
Right. Yes. And then being a consultant, if this aligns with what you're doing and you're looking for a line or you're looking for toys or something to offer in your business, or if it works with your brand, you can sign up and just offer these products because you can feel comfortable because they're high quality.
Yes.
A lot of people ask us why we don't just create our own toys and stuff.
First of all, it's expensive as fuck. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. And then you want to make sure you have high quality.
And I explained this a few weeks ago to some brothers and some sisters, during the Juneteenth event.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, why don't you do your own manufacturing? And I said, do you know how expensive it is to get into toy manufacturing?
And testing.
And all this kind of stuff. It is very expensive.
And I don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Right. And Candy, believe it or not, is the only Black woman within the sex toy space.
Yes.
So
I love that.
Out of all the sex toy lines that there are, she's the only one that is doing it. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That we don't have engineers within the industry. We don't have manufacturers within the industry. We don't have, people that, yes, we have Black faces, not a lot, but we have Black faces on the toys, but they're not made by Black-owned companies.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, why would we go out and
that's not our wheelhouse.
Yeah, no.
We offer it as a supplement because it's part of our sex positive business, and we want to give you products. We want to educate you, and so we gonna educate you. We want to tell you about this product, but it also falls in line with the fact that she is Black. A Black woman. It's a Black-owned business. But and so it adds to our brand, but you don't, again, it comes back to collaboration. Like you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to do everything. You can be a part of something, but know what your focus is in your
Yes.
business, and then you can collab with other people
Yes.
and make it a bigger thing. Go ahead.
So this new guy launched last year, and I'm so excited because we've been asking for this in a candle. This is our #1 seller in a body butter. So our head to toe balm is in the same scent as this candle, and it's arrows, and it's Light My Fire, and this is actually a massage oil. So I'm gonna let you smell this.
Yes, it's a candle, but it doesn't burn hot.
Right.
So it's an oil. So when it burns, you can actually pour it on a partner's body and massage it in. Yeah. Yeah.
Get that drip.
Yeah.
And you see did you see that it has the little spoon? So you literally can spoon it. I know some people that'll keep it in their bathroom.
Yep.
And they'll have it burning when they have guests. And then they just tell them to scoop it in. Like after you wash your hands, scoop it and then you can.
Because it's made with soy and hemp. It's not made from wax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just, again, high quality, good products.
Yeah. And now that's for men, but that's my favorite scent.
Arrows.
I'd wear the scent. That scent.
The joint.
So.
So it's just, and somebody asked me last night, like, what is arrows? Like, what is this? I'm like, it's a proprietary blend, nigga. You ain't get
But when you go on the website, it tells you all the ingredients
right.
of everything on there. And so we start off with the Bath and Body because people think that bedroom candy is toys. They're like, ooh, sex toys. But bedroom candy is a lifestyle brand.
Yes.
So like the lipstick that I'm wearing that you said, this is part of the Pride collection.
Yeah.
And it's called Girl Bye, which is it's to honor bisexuality, right? Yesterday it was a picture, and I got so many clicks on it. I'll show you the picture. I had green on, and it was called Green with Envy, which was to support, and the lipstick itself is the flag of the non-binary flag.
Aww.
So it's so the envy,
and I'm wearing another color, Date Night. So this is it's like a dark chocolate raspberry color as well.
Yeah, so we do makeup too.
Yeah.
But we also do bath and body products, and we do educational products. I mean, we have a lot of different it's a whole lifestyle brand around sex positivity, around body positivity, feeling beautiful, feeling yourself, because that starts before you get to the bedroom.
Yes.
So
People,
we have a lot.
You take a bath,
Then you need
then you need
that.
that.
Just be like, I don't need that stuff. I'll be like, do you shower?
Right.
You need us.
Yeah.
And those, so the period
Now we go into the wild thing.
The period of stones. This is one of our newest toys that just launched. And my God, today, my God. And it's called Stroke of Genius.
Oh, yes. We all need a stroke of genius.
Don't that look the head? I mean,
And it swivel?
yes. It not only does it swivel, but it also goes in and out. I mean, that's an amazing, and it's curved for the G spot. Then, but what I love is the part for like the clitoral stimulation.
It's like a little cobra head.
That's why I was saying it looks like a cobra head, but it's wide because the clitoris is not just it's not just what you see, right? But feel how soft it is too.
Yes.
I'm like,
Come on, stroke.
anybody want the stroke of genius?
Yeah.
Be a hand model?
Yes.
What would happen to you?
Yes. And it has different speeds. It is, yep. You can play with it. Yep. Just like that.
Yep, she got the wiggle.
Yes. And I'm an advocate for, a lot of men get intimidated, but toys are your friend.
Toys are your friend because your dick get tired. Let's
Yes.
be real.
Right.
Your
Well,
tongue
not
get
only
tired
that,
too. Use
you can play with your partner and see, you can watch them and see how they respond to
Yes.
it. And while they doing that, you could be licking on them titties.
Yeah.
You could be kissing them
Yeah.
passionately.
Yeah. Get it.
It's so many things that you can do with your partner. So I always talk about how it's not just for solo play. It's great for couples and group play.
Yeah.
Hello. Because we don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't yuck. Nobody's young. So that's our stroke of genius. So you guys, if you ever want to purchase anything from Bedroom Candy, you can go to omgoddesses.com. It's click on Shop Bedroom Candy.
Yes.
And And then you'll be supporting us.
Stroke of Genius is only $99.
Yes,
it's
with a 1-year
goddamn
warranty.
steal. Yep,
It's USB chargeable because we don't do batteries no more. And so, yeah, I know you can sometimes people like, oh, I can get these toys cheap. You be careful what you put in your body, on your body, all of that. And so we know that these are high quality. The materials are medical grade silicone. You know what I'm saying? So be careful. And you want something soft. And so you don't want no hard plastic up in your coochie. Okay. No. So that was our spicy bag.
Yeah, I love
Spicy bag.
Yeah.
Come on, spicy bag.
Yeah.
So Cleopatra,
Yes.
please share with everybody how they can get in contact with you.
All right. So I'm on Instagram. You can find me at Cleopatruuh. It's Cleopatruuh.
Hey.
So Cleopatra. And then if you're interested in my dominatrix work, I know y'all be interested. I know. You can find me on Twitter at Death Sex Magic, and there I got my link tree with all the stuff that I like. You know, you can find my fan sites, my fet life, whatever it is that you're looking for.
Yeah, and we'll put it in the show notes
Yes.
when we post it as well. So thank you so much, Cleopatra, for just taking the time and bringing your energy and vibration and just teaching us some amazing things and just having this amazing conversation. Yeah. We love connecting with people, like-minded people, sex positive people, positive people in general.
Yes.
And, you know, just thank you so much for bringing your energy to our show today. And you guys definitely follow her, look her up. And this will not be the last time you see her.
No, absolutely not.
In any OMG collabs.
I know. We gonna be in Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna be in Vegas.
Yeah, we gonna figure that out. Yes. So we are in August having a Las Vegas Kinkback weekend. And this is really designed for people who are sex positive in that industry. You could be sex worker adjacent. You could be a sex worker, content creators. We're just trying to bring all the creativity in the world of sex positivity together, collab, learn from each other, make some dope ass content, and just expand and grow our business.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. And so if you want to be a part of that, make sure that you, in the show notes, you follow us, you reach out to us, and then we will let you know if space is limited.
Yeah.
You know, because we want
get in where you fit in.
Right. We don't want it to be too big. We want to keep it nice and intimate.
Yeah.
And so definitely, hit us up, or if you know somebody, share our information with them and have them hit us up. So thank you so much. You have just experienced Sex, Love, and the Black Experience. And we are out.
Yes.
Thank you for watching Sex, Love, and the Black Experience podcast. Please continue to tune in and keep watching. And follow us at omgoddesses.com. Join our VIP list, or Facebook and IG at omgoddesses20 and Twitter at omgoddesses. We are Orgasmic Melanin Goddesses, where we make sex education and discovery fun for the BIPOC community. Join us on all social media platforms as we have amazing events coming your way.